will cover. So I'll just share my screen with you people. Okay. So everybody is able to see the screen that I have put on. Everybody is able to see the screen. Okay. So
Yes.
this I'll put everyone. So everyone be on mute so that my voice will get recorded, and this I will also share with you people. It will cover up a lot of things, a lot of doubts you people have in your mind. So this is comparison of various mind and body regimes, and in comparison with qigong. Okay, so I've tried to incorporate how you look at mind and body regimes. So for that we have covered aspects. So the top view, which is aspect. Okay, so aspect is one is a pure physical workout. Then we have external high. Okay, there's a lot of external high, and internally it is medium. Then external medium, internally high, and finally we come to highly internal. Okay, which is a lot of meditation. So we start from comparison with the jogging, gym, cardio, martial arts, etc. Then we have the second set, which is your vital qigong or qigong, which is breath work. Then we have internal work, which is Neigong, or we call it Power Qigong. Okay. And then we have Neidan, which is internal alchemy. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to explain out to you in detail. As you come down, you will see there is a dark blue patch. Okay. There's a dark blue patch. There's a red line in between. And there's a light blue patch which ends towards being white. Okay. So the difference over here is the white part. Okay, the white part which extends outwards is the static part of qigong or static part of any exercise. Dynamic, which is movement based. Okay, so if you see dynamic based, if we start with the first part, all the asana based yoga, okay, which is your Iyengar yoga, yin yoga, power yoga, all of these asana based yoga will come under the category of purely physical workouts. Okay, they may have like very slight level of static movement, but mostly are based on movement. Okay, including your equipment based freehand workouts, all your hard martial arts styles, all of them can be called as purely physical workouts. Now from the qigong perspective, the focus is more on the body than on the breath. So if you see, like if you go to the gym, you don't specifically focus on your breath while you're lifting weights. Okay, or you're like trying to do some bench press or something. Breath becomes secondary. Muscular development, muscular contraction is more dominant. Okay, if you look at even the your jogging, in the jogging element, you will notice that the focus is more on the running part and connecting, if possible, modulating the breath, but not specifically focusing on the breath. Now if we move in between the first and the second, I have put Pilates. Okay, Pilates and yin yoga are relatively new regimes. Pilates is it's from the European side, and it has got slight similarities with qigong, but it's just like around like 30 60 years old, and they're still doing research on it, but it takes a lot of matter from qigong. It takes a lot of content from qigong. Even the yin yoga is you can call a bit comparative to qigong. The reason being that yin yoga covers the softer aspect. The asana based yogas are very hard style oriented, and the yin yoga covers the softer aspect of it. Okay, so and we now move towards your qigong. Qigong, the best way of putting across is breath work. Okay, so chi or ki can be called as breath, can be called as the prana of the Hindu system. Okay, so it is working with the prana. So you can say this is the pranayam of martial arts, or you can say the entire qigong can be called as the yoga of martial art. Now within this, from the qigong perspective, the idea is to lengthen breath. Okay, so we're going to elongate the breath and connect it with the mind and the movement. Now why we are doing all this? See, a lot of times because of our mind being like continuously active. Okay, the more active the mind, the more volatile the breath becomes. That means if my mind is thinking too many thoughts, my breath will have too many numbers. So the more number of breaths I take, the more number of thoughts I have, and because more thoughts are getting generated, the thoughts are weak. Okay, it's like, if you have a pipe, and if you're like pushing a lot, like in a shower. Okay, once you on the shower, there are many small streams that are falling, which distribute it. Okay, which distribute the weight of the weight of the water. But moment if you have a hose, okay, and a straight line is coming, a straight line of water, a straight stream of water is coming, it's very powerful. So the idea of slowing down the breath, connecting it with the motion, is to slow down your mind, slow down your thought, deepen your thoughts, okay, and to make sure that your thoughts are powerful and you don't have too many thoughts. Just focus on the few thoughts. So over the period, the idea is to lengthen the breath as much as possible and move towards breathlessness. Okay, over the period you're going to move towards breathlessness, but that is not going to happen while you're doing physical workout. Okay, so there is another regime. So coming back to this, we within vital qigong, which can be classified as the health qigong in the Taoist and in the Chinese world, it's called the health qigong category, which covers the 16 set that I have given you today. We have completed that Badunjin, which is the next level, which is 8 piece of brocade, which is another 1,000 year old qigong, which works on the 8 meridians. So you have 8 extraordinary meridians and 12 meridians which work on the energy of your body. So Badunjan works on the 8 extraordinary meridians, which gives you the which opens out and freshens up the chi in your body. Okay. Then we have 6 healing sounds, which work on the 5 elements inside. Okay. So the 6 healing sounds work on releasing stress from the organs. All of this comes under health qigong, which we have categorized as vital qigong. That means improving your vitality. Now within this, there are a lot of static and dynamic qigong. Okay, and the category is very huge, but we have selected very few, which is very traditional, which has been there for quite a long time, which has been practiced, and it is expected to give certain results. Okay, in between the vital qigong and the neigong, there is a, if you go down, there's the soft style martial art. Okay, so soft style martial art also has their own qigong, which has got some movement base, some static base, which will soft style we can call like Tai Chi, Shingi, Bagua. There's another style called Louis Bafa, which is six harmonies martial art, Aikido. All of these have their own internal sets, internal regimes, which can be classified like qigong based and power based as well. Okay. Now, external medium, internal high is the aspect of Neigong. Neigong means internal work. Now, what are the internal things that it is working on? It works on your tendons, fascia, improving the strength of the tendons, improving the longevity of the tendons, strengthening the tendons from a long-term perspective, working on the fascia, that you are able to keep your muscles in firm position. A lot of times as you grow old, your muscles keep drooping downwards. So, and ensuring the net of fascia puts the muscles in the right place. Okay, so your body doesn't go down with weight, and you have the youthful like, appearance, as well as you have enough strength. Okay, so within this, the first category we cover is the power qigong, basic of power qigong, which has got silk reeling aspect of chen tai chi, which opens out all your joints, okay, and ensures that your horse stance becomes perfect. So this is where the dynamic horse stance comes in. Then we have 13 Lohan, which is a very dynamic but slow set of Shaolin. It's a Qigong set which works on motion, power, and energy. So as you work on 13 Lohan, 13 Lohans are you can say the Buddhist masters who came all the way from India and over there. And on the 13 Lohans, there is a set created. Then there is Yi Ji Jing, which is a muscle tendon change. Yi Ji Jing is the most traditional set of Shaolin, and this was the first set given by Bodhidharma to Shaolin. to ensure that you have strength during action and strong body during meditation. So EJing works on tightening the strings inside your body. So as I keep telling you, the strings inside your body are your tendons. Okay, so we always keep the tendons taut so that the pull is not muscle based, but it is tendon based. And the EJing specifically focuses on the 12 meridians and working on the tendons. And then there is an 18 Lohan set, which is more power oriented, strength oriented. Now, within this, as you move slowly towards the left side, it moves towards standing meditation. So you can say Neigong, as it moves deeper, it becomes more static, and on the left hand side, more dynamic. Okay, so as you're moving towards the right side, the lot of static movement. So there is a lot of standing meditation where we stand in different postures. You can say standing meditation is compared to your shavasana, except that it's in the standing position. Okay, so standing meditation works on releasing the stress throughout your body, feeling the energy, but it is all doing in the standing position what you do in Shavasana in the lying position. Okay, so as from this category, which more focuses more from the Qigong perspective, it's the guiding the breath to develop internal power and energy. So we want to guide our breath to develop internal power and energy. And as we are moving forward, there's another category which is highly internal. Not many people have access to this information. It's called Neidan or internal alchemy. Okay, so all of those people who have been a part of chemistry somewhere in the class, you will understand alchemy is transmutation of base metal into gold. Okay, so the philosophy of internal alchemy is to transform your base body, your very crude body, okay, into a refined body with refined energies, with lot of refined and power and longevity. So the focus of internal alchemy is to make chemical changes happen inside your body via certain exercises. Okay, which lot of it, it requires sitting meditation. So a lot of sitting meditation happens while you're doing internal meditation. Now within this, what happens is, from the Qigong perspective, is refinement of Jing. Jing is your physical body, the body that we have got from our parents. Refinement of Qi, okay, the energy that we got before birth and the energy that we have right now, which we are developing, and Shen, which is the mind, the thought process, okay, transformation of your mind. So refinement of the Jing, Qi, and Shen to transmute to the body back to its natural capabilities. So, according to the philosophy of Taoism, when we are born with a perfect body. But over the period, as we grow up, body, perfect mind. But over the period, as we grow up, we collect a lot of unwanted material, a lot of unwanted thoughts. So, getting the body back to the natural state, okay, is what internal alchemy is all about. Now, within this, if you see, I have put four categories, which you have the human level, earth level, spiritual, and celestial. At the human level, that means in the beginning, as we enter into Neigong, we have something called as Tai Chi. Tai Chi means cessation of breath. So the question that Samiksha you were asking about, Kumbhak, Tai Chi is the Qigong method of achieving breathlessness, but in a different manner. So while in yoga method we inhale, hold, and we exhale. Okay, just a minute, just a minute. So as in the yoga method, okay, we inhale, hold, and we exhale. Over here, there is inhale, exhale till the length of inhale, exhale becomes so long that you're practically becoming breathless. Okay, your body is in seated position and you're practically becoming breathless when the actual energy circulation starts. What is the energy circulation? They are called as water wheels. Water wheels can be called as certain energy circuits inside the body, which get activated when the body becomes perfectly still, the mind becomes perfectly still. Okay, these energy circuits get activated, which is your microcosmic orbit, macrocosmic orbits, okay, which circulates the energy throughout your body. So this like slightly deeper topics, but I'm just giving you a glimpse of how things appear. When the energy circulation happens, there's an internal elixir. That means some chemical composition that gets formed inside our body, which ensures that the body can live longer. Okay, it can live long, it can get its natural state, and it gets back its original powers. With this energy, you might end up having the golden embryo, which is like a energy body, which is, you can say, much like a superior astral body. And it's like you can keep going inside. There's a lot of infinity. That means the spiritual levels, celestial levels are way beyond the comprehension of our current discussion. But I've given you that understanding that where exactly meditation starts. Okay, so if you come back, look at it from physical, we move to highly external with some level of internal. We have high internal with some level of external, and we move towards highly internal. Okay, now all of this, if we put perspective of yoga, okay, so you have 8 limbs of yoga. If you see, the physical part covers the yam, niyam, and the asana. So from yoga perspective, the physical part would be only movement based, okay, and it will be more on the out external side. As we come towards qigong and neigong, okay, this entire category can be compared to asana and pranayama. Okay, qigong, neigong, they can be compared to asana and pranayama, except that the objectives of both over the period start going different directions. They start with the same thing, like yoga starts with internal aspect, but it goes more inside, and it works on developing your energy for complete spiritual development, which is going upwards. And the qigong, neigong, they go more towards developing a superior body, superior mind. Okay, so that's where the digression happens, but more or less in the beginning is all very similar. So asana and pranayam can be compared to your qigong and neigong. And as we move internal, which is the neigong side, neidan side, which is your pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, samadhi, dhyan, dharana. So all of this internal or sitting meditation comes under your internal alchemy aspect of qigong. Talking from the five koshas, which is the 5 layers. Okay, so the first aspect, that is your purely physical workout, works only on the annamaya kosh. That means only your physical body. Okay, there is very less focus. You might end up getting an after effect, but there is less focus on your pranamaya, which is your energy body, manomaya, which is your emotional body, vigyanmaya, which is your superior intelligence body, and anandmaya, which is your pure bliss or anand. Okay, so that body, as you move towards qigong, you can see that in qigong your annamaya kosh, pranamaya kosh, and your manomaya kosh all get affected. Why? Because qigong works on the mind, body, and the breath. Okay, so even your physical, while the physical transformation is happening, your mind also gets transmuted. The way your energy works inside your body also affects your mind. For example, the 6 healing sounds work specifically on the 5 emotions which are trapped inside your 5 negative emotions. So, like your anger, which lives in the liver, sadness, which lives in the lungs. So, it works on the emotional aspect. So, as we go higher in the Qigong, it keeps working on the deeper aspects, which is your mind, your emotions, as well as your body. Same thing with Neigong as well. Okay, so both categories, Qigong and Neigong, work on the Annamaya, Pranamaya, and Manomaya. However, okay, they do not touch the deeper levels, and the deeper level starts with the higher levels of Qigong, which is your internal alchemy. So you can see, as we go higher from the human side, okay, as we go forward towards the spiritual, celestial, all the aspects get covered. That means while by the time you are into the spiritual realm, in the celestial realm, you are already touching all these koshas. Okay, so from physical to purely internal, This is how I have categorized.
So can we learn?
Samika, yeah, because you are having two devices, you have to cut down from one device. That's why the
There's
echo is
some.
happening.
Yeah, this is better now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so can we cover all of these in a class or something? Like not in a class.
Can you explain
But
like what is your requirement?
yeah, I want to go in detail, like full on till the end.
No, I mean I didn't understand what did you what is your requirement?
Yeah, if I can learn all of this, like
Hmm.
the whole set.
Yeah. See, the way we have put it across is that we have put an order to it. If you look at the way qigong is being taught across, okay, there is everybody claims that okay, this is good, but from perspective, where do they stand? And that's why I put up in a comparison that where everything comes in. And if you follow the process, which is if you go from qigong to neigong to internal, it becomes much fruitful, because those people who directly jump into the internal alchemy part or the internal seated meditation, they do not have the stronger bodies. As they go
Hmm.
up, the bodies are not able to sustain that level of energy. Okay, so that's why we have a sequence that we have the 16 sets, then we have the 8 piece of rocket, 6 sailing sound, which creates your body, okay, strong enough to take chi inside. Okay, take chi inside, have a good development of breath, good development of internal organs. With this, if you move towards power qigong, now you have enough breath, enough capability to take all that power inside your body. Okay, and then you can move forwards towards sitting meditation. So this is the sequence we have put up, and as we go ahead, you will keep getting access to all of these things.
Okay. So I want to go till the end. So how much time does it take?
See, the first and the second part, which is your qigong and your neigong, this, look at it this way, that first 6 months, if you focus on the qigong, vital qigong part, which is your badunj inhale, it ensures that your body is slowly changing. Okay, because qigong is not a fast way, it slowly changes your body so that you're able to take in the energy. For example, the horse stance, you will not many people are able to stand in the horse stance. So basics of all your stances, everything gets covered. It will take around 6 months time. Then you move towards power qigong. So power qigong would take somewhere around 2 to 3 years, okay, for really development,
Wow.
because you need
Yeah.
to really have that transformation in your body. But while you're practicing maybe 6 months of power qigong, you can start practicing the seated meditation basics.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so as let's say 6 months time, because key aspect of this is the breath. In the qigong, we work on abdominal breath. In the neigong, we work on reverse breathing, which is Taoist breathing. Okay, which is slightly
Mm.
tougher. And to do that, it takes a lot of strength of your body, and especially internal aspect, which is your tendons. All of this strength needs to be there. Standing postures. You need to have that much of energy to stand for those many number of minutes or hours. Okay,
So
and then when we move towards this, you can start. Just a
so
minute.
we yeah. Don't are you looking at something?
Can you be a bit louder? I'm not able to hear you.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
I?
So I
Yeah, can I close this so that I can have a better view of all of you people? So I'll just stop this sharing. Okay, and I'll come back to, yeah, stop share. Okay,
this
yeah,
is so
just a
so
minute.
you
Huh?
can
Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Can we develop this strength with yoga asanas as well? Like it's the
See,
same process.
the purpose of yoga is slightly different compared to qigong. So, like yoga, you do not have a lot of horse stances. Okay, yoga, you do not have those standing meditations. So, purpose of yoga is to go more deeper inside. And purpose of qigong is to ensure the body and the mind gets balanced out. Okay, so while you are in yoga, you can call more of static. Okay, if you see traditionally, yoga has been used by yogis. It was not accessible to normal people. It was used by yogis to develop certain energies inside the body for sitting for meditation long. Okay, versus qigong was developed by martial artists. Okay, people who are living in the world, people who have to engage with the world. So balancing it out. If you do too much of yoga, your mind becomes so internalized that you don't want to engage with the world. Okay,
Yeah, right.
remember that. As more yoga you do, your mind starts dissociating with the world. Okay, because it was created to go on the nivritti marg, that means away from the world. And Qigong can be called as that aspect of our yoga system which was created for warriors, those who have to
Mm,
engage with the world, those who have to fight with the world, but they also want to be spiritual. Okay, so for example, Qigong also works on your worldly relationships. For example, emotional connect with people. When we talk with people, when we connect with people, we get some good emotions, we get some positive emotions, some negative emotions. How to balance it out? Yoga doesn't cover that. Okay,
mm,
how to release all the negative emotions from your body? Yoga doesn't cover that. So
mm,
yoga is good. I mean, I have nothing against yoga. I've just given up because I have been practicing and I do my own practice. In fact, you need to have a stronger yoga base to be in sitting meditation. For example, I can sit in Padmasana for 1 hour, 1 hour, 1.5 hours. I can sit, but that is only because I have been doing yoga for quite some time.
mm,
Okay, so the base of all of this being yoga, the methodologies are slightly different
mm.
because
So if
objective is more towards engaging with the world and maintaining the balance of the spiritual side.
yeah, so the samadhi that we attain at the end is also attainable with qigong.
Yes, see, as we go deeper into the internal alchemy, you end up getting the same benefit, but the process,
Yeah.
okay, the process is slightly different, and it
So the
maintains the balance between body and the mind. So if you look at the yogis, a lot of yogis have got very frail bodies. A lot of
mm,
people, when you see people who have been practicing yoga, they're like very thin and their bodies are slightly frail, versus compared to the tai chi masters, you will see that their bodies are quite strong. Okay, and they're able to sit also in meditation for quite long. Now this is something which I feel that for the modern world, where we need to engage with the world, where we cannot isolate, like if I just tell you that you go into a desert and stay there and just keep practicing and get all of this, it's very difficult in the modern world.
mm,
Okay, see, over the period where yoga ends is exactly where the qigong also ends, because that's where, if you see the pratyahar, which is cutting down of the senses, is also a part of internal alchemy. Okay, cutting down of the
mm,
senses, that means pratyahar, or absorbing the senses back inside the body, except that they have a different way of putting it across, but it's the same thing. Okay,
yeah,
if you go into complete breathlessness, is moving towards samadhi.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sir, can I speak to you about that? This is so interesting and no one talks about qigong in this
Yes,
way.
yes, yes.
I think covered from a very upper, it's like a very upper layer. So if I can speak to you because this is so interesting to me, but I will have to go now. I have a meeting.
No worries, no worries. See, take your time, understand all of this. That's the reason I've put up everything in perspective. So a lot of qigong, everybody, in YouTube or whatever, they are just trying to sell you this piece, that okay, this is the best piece, this is the best piece. But how do you put it in perspective,
It
where
makes
everything
sense.
stands?
Yeah, it just looks like qigong is this much. It does only this much. It's
No,
just
no,
so
no.
which we didn't know.
So
And similar thing happened with yoga as well for me. I just thought yoga is asana,
no,
right?
no,
Just
no, no,
walking.
no. Exactly, exactly. See, that is the point. That there are many layers to it, and there are many levels to it. But you need to have a framework to analyze which is what is where, and what can give me. So asan. has got its limitation. It cannot go beyond a certain thing. Pranayam has its limitation. It cannot go. So if you have the perspective, you can, like I have read Patanjali Yoga Sutra, I have read the text of the ancient Taoist, and then when I compare them, I realize that, oh, they're both talking the same thing. They're both talking the same thing.
Okay. So it will be so much fun to learn this from you. I'll speak to you about this.
Sure, sure.
Maybe they can be a
Anand, any questions from your end? You've been a silent listener. Any questions so far?
Yeah, I mean, generally, if someone is giving a presentation, I am always, on the recipient end, because I understand those aspects, the entire deck very deeply. Then I come up with questions. So because first important that I understand it myself. So if I understand your comparative analysis chart, okay. So you have classified, different styles of,
Mind and
workout.
body techniques. Yeah.
That, yeah, different aspects, different classification that you have done as static and dynamic, right?
Yeah.
So what comes under dynamic would be the kickboxing, karate, taekwondo,
Correct.
which works more on physical part of it, right? Than internal, okay. And as you move towards your right, correct, the static one, are you able to hear?
Yeah. I'm listening.
Okay, the static ones primarily focuses on your internal part of body, correct?
Correct.
So can I say that Wing Chun is part of static, according to your comparative analysis or your classification?
Yeah.
And not.
If you look at it, I've classified Wing Chun under the soft style martial art. So all the soft style martial arts. So Wing Chun has got the internal and the external aspect. Okay, Wing Chun covers the Qigong part and the Neigong part. For example, the first form of Wing Chun, if you practice from the Neigong perspective, it takes you 1 hour to complete it. Okay, for 1 hour, you should be able to stand in the EJ Kimimma posture and able to do it. Okay, all of this, that level of slow motion you need to do. So Wing Chun, all internal martial arts, for example, Tai Chi, Bagua, all internal martial arts, all soft style martial arts, mix of soft and hard, have got that aspect of Qigong and Neigong as well. Okay.
Okay, good. And for each classification or for each aspect, that you have derived, you have a Qigong perspective for it, correct?
Correct.
To what is the outcome or what is the benefit of each type of martial art or workout or aspect or classification where you've put it on that chart?
Yeah.
Correct. So okay, so I understood that correctly. Fine. So ultimately, different limbs of yoga, right? I've put in the tabular format below. So if we achieve the highest level, okay, the max level of qigong, then we achieve all those what's it, limbs of yoga, whatever
Okay.
we call it.
So let me put it in this perspective that the limbs of yoga, okay, you can rather call them steps. They're not exactly like 8 limbs. They are steps. That means you have to start with your niyam.
Aname, praname, and all the maze.
Exactly. So the point is, as you progress ahead, as you really progress ahead, there are certain outcomes that yoga gives you, and there are certain outcomes that qigong gives you. Okay. However, both are quite similar. The qigong is meant for people who are engaging with the world. That's what I keep repeating. That
correct.
Wherever you have to be with the world, the methodologies of qigong are more useful in that perspective, because as you go ahead into yoga, okay, as you keep doing yoga, your ability to deal with the world becomes diminished. The reason being that your mind becomes so internalized, you do not want to connect with the world. Okay.
Correct.
If you practice meditation for too long, you just don't feel like connecting with the world. You feel, okay, let me be in my own mind, let me be in my own world.
Correct. No, I mean, in today's date, one has to be very, dynamic. One has to be extrovert connect. I mean, particularly at my role, I have to engage with a different set of people,
Exactly,
different
exactly. Yes.
stakeholders,
And you might end up with
so
a lot of fights.
it
Okay. You might end up
yeah, a
with a
lot
lot
of
of
fights,
fights.
yeah, to get things done. I think qigong ultimately develops your interpersonal skills as well.
Correct.
You know.
So look at it this way. Qigong is a yoga of martial arts. And life is
Hmm.
not just physical fighting. It's the fighting of the thoughts, fighting of the
Of course, yeah,
emotions.
yeah.
Okay.
Correct, correct,
All
correct,
of
correct.
this fighting requires a certain set of emotions, certain set of tools, certain strategies. And that is what Qigong equips you with.
Yeah, yeah, correct, correct, correct. No, I mean, I'll live up to it now.
Okay, so I think we have given you the perspective. I wanted, all this. So I'm going to record this and put it up also. That if you're looking at something, you should have a framework to analyze it. That
Yeah,
what is the limitation? What are the capabilities? What can be possible? What cannot be possible? Because everything cannot give you everything. Okay, so sitting meditation, Neigong cannot give you something what Qigong gives you. Okay, qigong gives you something which Neigong cannot give you. So all of this, okay, needs to be dealt with separately, and if you understand, you can make a better choice.
yeah, absolutely. And I hope, as we move, as we progress with these sessions, right, you
Hmm.
will add a meditation part
Yes,
of it
yes, yes,
also.
absolutely, absolutely. This will come in the. See, the point is that your body, to be ready for meditation, you need to slow down your thoughts. Currently, if I tell you just to go down and sit for meditation, there's a nice internal mirage of images that will come in front of you.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, if you work with qigong, okay, similar to like qigong or your pranayama, okay, it slowly cuts down all of these thoughts, all of these images inside your head, so you're able to focus on a few set of thoughts, and that's precisely what we start with.
Hmm.
So
Correct.
you can say qigong is like your meditation in motion.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay. So Anand, we are almost closure of this session. Any questions you have, you can quickly ask me.
No, 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 not really. You have
Okay.
covered almost.
So I think we have covered up. So this thing I'm going to put up on the YouTube for everybody to, they can access this anytime whenever you try to analyze which qigong or which something is best, which physical regime. You can always have this cover up. Okay, this framework for you. Okay. So see you people.
Okay,
See you on the
sure.
next session. Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.